Hello guys, now before this video starts, just gonna say today's music has been brought to you by Free Music Archive. The song is called Dinner for One, Silent Partner. Hello guys, now in this video we are going to see how we can publish our Blender game. There are a couple of ways to do this. One of them is basically save our Blender file and give it to anybody who wishes to play the game, and they only need to have Blender installed, and that's it. On the other hand, if we wish to create a standalone player, we need to do a couple of things. Now, first off, we need to go into user preferences and type in game. This will show us game publishing and show us game engine runtime. Each of these is necessary. Which one is more necessary? Well, same game engine runtime will basically create one compact engine, and it will export the game for the platform that you are on. For instance, if you're on Windows, it will export a Windows exe file. If you're on Linux, it will export a Linux execute file, and for Mac, I believe it's app file, I'm not sure. Now, for the game engine publishing, will basically allow you to, if, for instance, I'm using Linux, however, I wish to export my game for Windows and Mac, I need to have this ability, this add-on enabled, which will allow me to export my game in Windows and Mac, and of course Linux, all in one. So I can do this, and I'll show you how you can do this. Well, first of all, we need to be in game engine mode, and we need to go into render mode. So first thing we need to do is test out our game. Now, as you can see, I need to select my game, I can move, and everything we left, our physics and the visualization of the path, is already there. We need to disable this. Basically that was for testing to see what was wrong. So game, show visualization disabled. For our object here, we need to go into logic editor, select our path following, and as you can see, here is visualization. That should be it. We go back to our 3D view. Here, when we start the player again, we will see everything is fine. Now, as you can see, you have an option here to modify the resolution we are going to use. You can set it on full screen and detect if it's going to be a desktop resolution setting, basically synchronize with desktop resolution. These are cool things because we can basically auto enable our game from the start to modify itself to any desktop that is going to be open. Now we can go in here and see anti-aliasing, enable anti-aliasing, go into more detail to create certain effects and so forth. However, we can skip this for now. It's not that important because the first game we are going to export is not graphically heavy, and so yeah. When we wish to publish additional platforms, or basically all three platforms that are available for Linux, which are Mac, Linux, and Windows, we can go here, platform, press the plus key, which will allow us to name our platform, and which requires from us to find the Blender player file. Now, for platform, I'm going to go Windows. And if you're wondering what do I need, well, I need a zip file from original Blender site. Now to get this file, go to blender.org, download. Here you have a zip file which will basically be a 64, 32-bit, whichever you need or wish. You can download, you can have basically a lot of these files. Now I already downloaded my zip file to my desktop, and it is in my Blender directory. Here is the file. Once you extract it, you have a Blender here, and this is basically the file you need to find and locate in order to set your platform in Blender. Now I'm going to go here. This is to set my platform. I'm going to need my desktop. Go into Blender here, and I'm looking for my Blender layer file. Once I selected my file, accept, and I can add Mac here and basically Linux if you want to, you can do that, and publish platform. You can press publish button. Once the game has finished, this can take, depending on the type of game you created, was it heavy, was it low, it can take some time, and based on where you selected that the game will be exported, you will have multiple directories. One is basically default game, and the second one is going to be, in my case, Windows game. Now, in my case, if I go here, I'll have my game and parts of Blender here, and basically it's a standalone game. I can zip my file and send it to anybody so they can play. However, for Windows One, there is an exe file. Now I cannot use this current one, I believe, because basically I didn't set my Wine properly, which is basically allowing me to play some games. However, I'm going to test this on a friend's computer and see what happens. Like I said, publishing is usually pain-free in a way, so it should work fine on each platform you publish. However, testing is needed, and in a way that was it. However, when I said about the second one, this is basically the third ability. We need to go here and select export. When we go into export, we need to say save game engine runtime. This was the second ability I told you in user preferences to select in advanced, and when you do that, you can basically select the directory where you want to basically save your game. I'm going to go in Blender and do this here. Now let's see what happens in our directory. As you can see, we had this Blender 7 file. It's only a library, and this one should be our file. Now I made a small mistake. I'm going to correct myself. I'm going to do this slightly again. So save game as runtime. Instead of Blender here, I'm going to do with .sh. .sh is for basically Linux, and you can try to do this for your Windows. Try typing exit and it should work fine. Now for me, you should go into Blender file. As you can see, I have .h here. In order for me to activate this, I'm going to type in a command, and as you can see, it works fine. And it should work fine. Run. Okay, it works fine. So in a way, this is Blender publishing. Of course, you can test this more for yourself, what you need and what you think it's necessary. You can also see what additional options you have here set, and in later tutorials we will spend a lot of time modifying this, because in later tutorials we are going to create a user menu where we can set full screen windows, which will require from us to create a Python script, but this is for a later tutorial. And that's it for today.